Central Illinois know the basic facts about Abraham Lincoln, 16th president from Illinois, freed the slaves. But how history sees Lincoln is hardly set in stone. In today's Our Story, a look at a new exhibit that promises to challenge what we think we know about Lincoln and his impact. Beth Hildebrandt and Steve Brantley join us from the Booth Library at Eastern Illinois University. It's good to have both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You know, Steve, Abraham Lincoln was, I guess, a little sketchy coming in. People weren't really sure that he had what it took.
Yeah, well, he was just a first-term representative, and the American people were concerned that their president-elect wasn't quite up to the task.
Right. Well, and they went forward anyway and took that leap of faith. Now, Abraham Lincoln's election was that moment of glory, and, you know, that's part of what's explored. You guys touch on that a little bit in this new exhibit, but really it's a lot broader, Beth. Tell me about it.
Right. The name of the exhibit, as you said, Lincoln, the Constitution, and the Civil War. So it really focuses on those years in his presidency where he had to deal with the Civil War. Most people think it was mostly about slavery, but if you read Lincoln's comments, it was mostly to him trying to keep the Union together, trying to keep the South from seceding. And all of the things that he had to do to keep that from happening is what the focus of the exhibit is.
Well, if you're down in a lot of different places, because you guys are really putting all of these out, we have a graphic that kind of shows this too. Divided, are we a single nation? Bound, can slavery be uprooted? And dissent, must civil liberties give way? So this really lays a lot of complexity to the Lincoln story, which is great about this exhibit. So how did this exhibit happen to come to Booth?
Well, the exhibit was developed by the National Constitution Center, and the American Library Association and the National Endowment for the Humanities provided the funds in order to make it a traveling exhibit across the country. So this exhibit has been going all around many different states, and it's now coming to Central Illinois in Charleston at Booth Library.
Which is cool, and you guys actually have elements of your collection that you're using to supplement this too, and you brought a couple of examples, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this example here, this is a cast of Lincoln's face made in April of 1860 by a Chicago sculptor named Leonard Volk. And next to it is a cast of his right hand made a few months later in May. And he's holding that, the cast is holding that rod there because apparently he couldn't keep his hand still. He'd been writing all day long, and so he had to hold onto a broom handle in order to make it still. Of course, that's the story anyway.
Hand cramps. 19th century hand cramps. It's good to know it happened to him too. But yeah, he had a lot going on too. And then you have this great picture of Lincoln over here too that kind of shows him in that very stately pose. I feel like this is an image that's familiar, but that's just one of the things that people kind of contest through time, right?
That's probably his most popular image. One of our exhibits at the library does show several pictures of him from when he's just a very young lawyer in Illinois to right before his assassination. And it's really interesting to see the way his features change, and you can really tell the stress of everything that he went through. You hear people talking today about President Obama and how much he's aged during his time of office, and you can certainly see that when you look at all of his portrait, Abraham Lincoln's portraits side by side.
Yeah, I think we saw that too with President Bush and President Clinton. That seems to be part of being in office. And it's interesting because these exhibits really bring these same ideas, whether it's something simple like hand cramps or the fact that people age in the presidency, kind of to the present day for people. And that's one of the things you guys try to do as a library, is to engage people, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to, one of the reasons we have these exhibits is to sort of highlight the wealth of information that the library has to offer to the whole community, not just to the university, but to Charleston and the surrounding towns. And in the same way, we try to bring members of the community in to participate in the exhibit.
And participate in the speaker series, because what you guys are doing with the speaker series really allows for a lot of discussion and debate. So we're going to look at a couple of these. So you start off first with Mary Lincoln in History and Memory.
Following our opening is next week on the 10th, but then after that we have one of our professors and one of her students, which is nice to get the students involved. They will be presenting a closer look at Mary Lincoln. And then you'll see a lot of the other ones listed on your screen there, but we go through, the exhibit continues till October 16th. Some of the others that I might mention, October 1st, we have some visitors from Northern Illinois coming, one of them portraying Harriet Tubman. And we have B.F. McLaren and his wife Dorothy, who are nationally renowned Lincoln presenters, so they will be appearing in costume as Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln twice during our series. The first an hour-long program on the 8th of October.
Which is great too, because not only can you see the things that Abraham Lincoln touched or was directly a part of, but you understand the politics, and then you see how people interpret those characters through time, and that really does. And this is one of the things I love about libraries is you challenge what people think they know, right?
Right. That's something that we've always tried to do. Is obviously we're a library, we're full of books, we're here to help our students with the research, but we have a lot more than that. We like to present a topic to the community, get people thinking about it, have a lot of discussion.
Yeah, which is great. And you can enjoy all of this too. The exhibit online, well, the opening reception rather, first, is Thursday the 10th of September at 7 o'clock. The keynote speech, Liberty, Security, and History, and Abraham Lincoln. It's going to be really great. Lots of stuff happening over at the Booth Library that the entire public can enjoy. So if you're in the area or you're driving through, you definitely want to see these exhibits. And it opens again on the 10th, right, Beth?
The exhibit opens on the 4th.
Okay.
Our main reception kickoff is the 10th.
Excellent. So you can see it right after Labor Day. And we'll connect you with all the information for the Booth Library online at CILiving.tv. That's the website, right, Heather?
You know, that's the one I go to frequently. But hey, do you know